Hello Internet denizens, welcome back to the channel. My name is Brendan, and today we have on board 20 Strong Tanglewoods White. This is one of the newest games in the 20 Strong series. It shares some similarities with the other Tanglewoods games, but it has its own unique mechanics going on as well. So if you don't know 20 Strong or you didn't watch the Tanglewoods Red video, I suggest you do that first, just at least the beginning to get the overview of 20 Strong. I'll put a link of that in the description. But yeah, we'll briefly go over the Tanglewoods White mechanics that are kind of unique, and then we'll just get straight into the play. So Tanglewoods White, it once again has a merchant, where just like it did before. There's a few different, I say a few. There's a lot of options in this one, but some of the important stuff here is that you can pay to flip the day-night card. So in this game, there's a card that represents whether it's day or night, and that will sometimes give enemies extra effects or abilities if it's nighttime. Generally they're bad, sometimes they're actually kind of good. And then also there's this sort of forest mechanic where you've got this grid of cards that you're moving around. It kind of gives a Hoplomachus vibe, where you're moving around on this like area of cards, except for you normally can only see the modifiers in the back of the cards, and then as you flip them and you pull extra enemies in, they do various effects. Um, So yeah, some enemies, which I guess I don't have any right now to show you, but this enemy, for example, the skull pulls in an extra enemy, which will be pulled from this area called the strategy area. You can either pull one of these face-up enemies or the top card of the deck. But some of the cards have a tree on the front of them, and if you have a tree with a number, you have to resolve a number of adjacent, or you can resolve the icon on the top of the deck. And these modifiers have various effects, like summoning that card, making you pay money or gold, exhausting your dice, that kind of thing. Bad stuff, but you get to pick based on orthogonally adjacent to where you are, or top of the deck. Um, yeah, so that's how it works. But at the end game, I guess that's important. So the end game is that we must defeat these 4 castle cards at the very top. So there's 3. Technically, all 4 of them start the game face down, but there's no reason to start the game with Evil Stepmother face down because you always fight Evil Stepmother. So I always just leave her face up just so I can read and remember how her ability works in case I forget. But the other ones, there's 6 total in the game. There's 3 that have 3 health and 3 that have 4 health. And based upon that information, you can sort of deduce the potential abilities of the bosses on the other side. And their specific and unique abilities are important for strategy because some of them react to modifiers in different ways. Speaking of modifiers, as you defeat enemies in fights, the first enemy defeated in a fight must be placed on one of the 4 castle stacks. So on one of the 4 castles. And that modifier will resolve when you fight that boss in the end game. But not only that, the number of cards that start on that stack is the amount of dice that you're allowed to commit when you're fighting that boss. So you definitely want to have enough cards up there so that you can take out the enemies. But the more cards you put up there, the more modifiers you're going to resolve, before the fight. In order to begin that phase where we're fighting all the bosses and stuff, when we end here at this top right corner, that is when the end game begins. And the end game involves you fighting the castle bosses in the order of your choosing, but you must fight the evil stepmother last. So you'll fight her 3 minions or henchmen or underlings, and then you'll fight her last. And then once you defeat her and all the enemies with her, you win. All right, so let's not get started because I'll explain to you which character I'm playing. Playing one of the characters from White called Toil and Trouble. The ability lets you ignore during effects when you're fighting 2 enemies. And then after an engagement in which a hand modifier, which is the summon, is resolved, you gain 2 health and you flip. And then on this side, you become Sean, and Sean also gets 2 health when he flips. So you get 4 total health if you resolve a hand modifier. The reason it's put like this is because sometimes some effects can force you to flip. So if you're forced to flip your character, you still get 2 health from Sean, you just don't get the 2 health from the other side. And when you're Sean, you can pay 6 gold to flip back. So pretty good. You normally start with 1 strategy, but Tanglewoods White allows you to start the game in nighttime instead of daytime. And if you do that, you can increase one of your stats by one. So I did choose to do that. Seems to be a good idea, especially with one strategy. One strategy is not great. All right, so now let's actually begin the game. So first turn, we're going to resolve this bottom left card, which we are on. We're going to be fighting the Ice Giant. Items cannot be used, and we're going to be visiting the Merchant. So it has 5 health. We're going to be trying out a new technique or strategy. So as you may or may not know, there's no fancy editing on this channel. So this is the fancy way I make the cards readable, legible, hopefully, maybe, we'll see. So I'm fighting this enemy. Here's my dice tray. So I need 5 damage and 2 rolls. So I'm going to use a red. So we'll just roll 5 dice, 4 purples and a red. And then we'll be visiting the Merchant and flipping the day-night card after the battle, which is good because we don't want it to be nighttime. Wow, 2 crits. Holy moly. All right. So this enemy is defeated. I gained 5 gold, so I started the game with 13, so now I'm up to 18 gold. Let's move this giant contraption aside. This is already going to get annoying. So I exhausted 5 dice there. I'll just put them here. And I get my recovery is 2 currently, so kind of expensive. Maybe I should have bribed. We'll see how that works out. But maybe I can buy some dice back at the Merchant. So this Ice Giant has this exhaust the strongest die modifier on the back, so I have to decide which pile this is going to go into. At the beginning of the game, I don't know the 3 underling bosses, so I'm going to put it on Evil Stepmother, I guess, even though it's going to make me exhaust my strongest die. Just because I want to be safe. I mean, I could put it on the 4. It's probably safe on the 4, I think. Yeah, we'll put it on the 4. Yeah, let's do that instead. So we can get our strongest die back before we fight Evil Stepmother. All right, so the fight is over, so now we will be flipping the day-night card and visiting the Merchant. So I'll pull out the Merchant. We'll pull out 3 items. 1, 2, 3. So the items we got are Cubic Zirconium Ball. You can pay a gold to peek at an adjacent forest card before the movement step. That seems decent. Do damage to an enemy 1 time, slingshot, and then the catalog. Pay at the end of any round, pay 3 gold to visit the Merchant. Normally, you only visit the Merchant when a card tells you to, but the catalog lets you visit when you want to. It's quite a good ability. I actually think I'm going to buy that card because there's another card in the deck that lets you get health every time you go to the Merchant. Not that I'm going to need, I guess, that much health since I am playing Toil and Trouble. They can gain a lot of health, but whatever. We'll buy that card for 3. Puts me down to 15. And then one of the most important things you can do with the Merchant is to flip a Castle Boss card. It costs 5 gold. So we are going to flip that card. I put that Gust of Wind on to see which boss that is, because that's important. It's the Ogre Chef. And his ability just says if there's 3 or fewer cards when you fight him, then you get -2 to any 1 stat. And if it's nighttime, you can't apply crits. So yeah, some of the nighttime effects of some of these castle bosses and the order you fight them in kind of is important sometimes. So, all right, so that's fine. We know what he is now, so now we can safely put cards there. All right, so now we will restock this from the top of the deck, and we'll move on. I can go up or right. So I guess we'll go to the right. Why not? What's the worst that could happen? Blowing in the Wind. It's a fable. When activated, you must exhaust 2 dice. If you do not, you must place yourself in the bottom leftmost position of the forest, visit the Merchant, and flip the day-night card. So if I don't exhaust 2 dice, I put myself in the bottom left. I flip the day-night card and visit the Merchant. And I don't really want to exhaust 2 dice. I think I'm just going to put myself in the bottom left. And this is a fable, so we're not going to put this on the castle stack. So I'll visit the Merchant and flip the day-night card. Discard that. Flip the day-night card before I forget. Now we'll visit the merchant, look at 3 more items. Hopefully I don't get the... Oh, you know what? I just noticed I didn't spend that 5 gold for flipping that card. So let's go down to 10. Not cheat. Alright, okay. 3 items from the merchant. Ooh, that's a good item. Good item that I can't make good use of. So, before suffer damage, if you would reduce to 0, you can pay the amount of gold. That's kind of interesting. Cheat code lets you upgrade any other item in your inventory, so it's like a cheap upgrade. If you upgrade this thing, you can upgrade 3 items, which is cool. But and then Gorp gives you +2 health. So I think I'm gonna buy the cheat code and upgrade the catalog because the catalog lets you visit the merchant for 1 gold when you upgrade it. So this costs 2. Maybe I don't buy it right now. Maybe I just save my money. Guess I need to bribe something. Yeah, I think I'm gonna save my money. So I'm not gonna buy the cheat code. I am gonna spend 5 to flip another castle card. So we'll go down to $5. And we'll flip this middle boss. Ooh, it's the magic mirror. See, this is why we flip. You resolve the effects of all non-hand cards twice in the castle stack. So if I'd put that gust of wind, that exhausted die, I would have exhausted 2 dice instead of 1. So good to know. Good to know. All right, let's refill the forest and go to the next round. I could have paid money to flip the day-night card back to daytime, but it's fine. I haven't lost any health yet. I'm going to just come back to the same card. Hopefully it is better this time. Oh, it's a forest dragon, which is good because I'm fighting it at nighttime, because that's a special ability that yellow hits do +1 damage at night. Has 7 health, does 3 damage. Gives it 9 gold. 9 gold is a lot. There's a lot of dice to spend to get this guy down, but I think 2 strategy though. That's the other problem. All right, let's just go for it. What could go wrong? So we got our forest dragon here. Let's grab some yellows for sure, all of them. We got 4 yellows, a red and a purple. Let's just roll that for now, see how that goes. It's a lot of dice. I really need to kill this guy if I'm going to commit this many dice. Might have to start taking some hits here since I can get so much extra health. All right. Ooh, yeah. So these do +1. Oh my goodness, yes. Okay, so that's 4. This is 6 damage right here. Man, I feel like if I re-roll this, I'm not going to get it. I'll be 1 short. Let's throw in a blue, I guess. Don't want to, but I don't get that 9 gold. I'm going to be very sad. Okay, I'll just roll 8,000 crits. All right, cool, cool, cool. All right, so this guy is super dead. I get 9 gold. Puts us up to 14. All these wonderful dice exhaust, and I can pull back 2. So I'm going to pull back the red and the purple, so that I have all 4 yellows are going to be exhausted, 1 blue and 3 purples. Man, I got to start getting some money. All right, so I have to decide which castle stack I want to put this on. It's a mask. The mask makes you pay gold, discard an item, or -1 health. Don't want to put it on the magic mirror, really. Kind of want to put it on evil stepmother. Because by then I'll have enough gold to... Yeah, I'll put it on evil stepmother. Why not? All right, so flip the day-night card. We visit the merchant. 3 more items. Come on. Something good. Okay, hiking boots lets us move extra spots during the movement step. Minus gold, the cost of the ability or item. Coupon's pretty good. Shiny trinket sets an enemy's bribe to 2. What's the upgrade on the shiny trinket? Okay, lets you bribe a cheap enemy, get the reward, do it again. Kind of want to buy this coupon. -4, -6, and then flip it. I mean, pay 2 to spend 2 less later is kind of good. I mean, I could just buy it and immediately use it to flip the last castle card. Because I buy it for 2. It costs me 1 to flip a castle card if I use it. So that makes it cost 3 instead of 5. It saves me 2 gold, basically. Yeah, we'll do that. So I'll spin this. I'll immediately use it to flip the castle card. So normally it costs 5. 5 minus 4 is 1, plus the 2 I'm paying for this. So I will knock my gold down by 3. Knocks me down to 11. Flip this last one, see what's over here. The Witch Queen. When resolving 1 card from the Witch Queen's castle stack that does not have the hand modifier, you may choose to activate the card instead of resolving the modifier. If you do so, plus 1 health. So we can put an easy enemy on her that's not a hand modifier. We can activate the card and gain health, I guess. Okay. At nighttime, hits can only be applied to the Witch Queen and enemies with the summon. Yeah. What is this? What does the mirror say for nighttime? If this is the only undefeated enemy for each die you apply to this enemy, you must banish a ready or committed die of the same color. Okay, if that's the only undefeated enemy. Alright, well that doesn't sound great. Alright, so we refill the forest and we'll go again. I need to start taking some hits. Just so I can get some dice back. Alright, I guess we'll go up. See what's here. It's the Trickster Trout. Oh boy. So I'm not sure the order of operations here. It's got a 2 modifier icon on it, and it also says immediately move to the forest card below or to the left of your current position. There's a conflict card there, immediately activate and add to the engagement. It can't be bribed and doesn't trigger any icons. So yeah, I don't know if you move first or do icons first. It says immediately, so maybe you move first. So I gotta move down or to the left. I guess we'll immediately move down. And then we add this card to the engagement. It's the Cutthroat Clothier. If you don't defeat him, he becomes an item in your inventory. So what I think we're gonna do is defeat him and not defeat the Trickster Trout. Oh, I still need to resolve those 2 icons though. So I've got a castle stack, a summon, and a gust of wind. If I activate this, see, if I activate the summon, I will flip after this, but summoning a 3rd enemy in this fight seems kind of spooky. Gives me more recovery, which is extremely good. Do need that. Yeah, let's see. Okay, well, he's added to the fight. I need to resolve 2 icons, so I guess we'll do the summon, which is a Corrigan. Activate all Corrigans. There's no Corrigans to add. Might have to bribe some people here. We got a lot of people in this fight. And he also resolves an adjacent modifier. So, yeah, I'll be resolving the other remaining modifiers, I guess. So the Gust of Wind exhausts my strongest die, so the red is gone. The Castle puts the, I believe, top card? Add the top card of the Hunt deck to a castle. Your current stack if it's the Endgame. I'm going to add it to the Ogre. Alright. Oh boy. Alright, so now that all those icons are resolved, maybe. Got ourselves 3 enemies here. And we have 11 gold, so I'm trying to decide. I definitely want to fight the Cutthroat guy to get his recovery. I think we'll probably bribe the Trickster Trout, since these 2 are both worth the same amount of gold, and he takes less hits to defeat, so we'll spend 5 on that, which takes us down to 6. So get rid of the Trickster Trout. I think we just let the Corrigan hit us. Oh, yeah. So I resolved the hand modifier, so after this fight, I'm going to get 4 health. How much health do I have right now? 4. If I go down to 3, I'll lose 1 health, I guess, theoretically. I guess I don't. Yeah. Maybe I don't bribe that trickster trout then, and I just let all of them hit me. I go down to 1, I gain 4, I go up to 5. Maybe I'll do that. So yeah, I'll do that. So trickster trout will leave in the fight. We'll go back, undo this decision. Stay at 11 gold. So the trickster trout and the Corrigan are just going to hit me. And we're just going to focus on taking out the cutthroat Clothier. Somehow this seems bad. Alright, he has 6 health. We need to do 6 damage. We got 3 blues, a purple. It's 4. Let's throw in 1 green. I have 2 strategy, so let's hope for 1 crit here. This is a terrible idea. I should throw in 1 more green, I think, which is going to run me out of dice, I feel like, but just kind of feels necessary. Whoop. I can't aim. Okay, that was cheating. This thing bumped. I'm going to unbump that. That seems fair. This rolled pretty poorly. I think we'll just re-roll everything and just hope and pray. I don't want to commit more dice, do we? That seems like a terrible idea. Really need this guy to die. If this guy does not die, then I will certainly lose, because I will not get that recovery. So, maybe we add a green. Maybe we add a green. We're adding another green. Probably a bad idea. I'll roll a bunch of crits this time. Yep, and I did. Like I do. Oh boy. Okay. Actually, we might be able to defeat more than 1 enemy, I guess, here. So there's 6. This guy's going to be the first. Or who do we want to defeat first? Maybe we want to defeat the Corrigan first. He becomes a hand icon. I can put him on the mirror. Seems like a good idea. So let's do 3. If I do 3 to the Corrigan, I have enough to defeat Cutthroat as well, yeah. So I'll do 3 to the Corrigan first. So he's the first enemy defeated, which gives me 4 gold, puts me up to 15. And then we'll put 6 on the Cutthroat, which immediately gives me 1 more recovery. And I'm going to take 2 damage from the Trickster Trout. So that puts me down to 2 health. Take my recovery up. Yeah, exhaust those dice. Okay, so the Corrigan was first. So Cutthroat's going to get discarded. Corrigan we're going to put on the mirror. And the Trickster Trout we're just going to discard. I recover 3 dice, so I'll take 2 purples and a red. Man, my dice pool is looking very thin right now. Any of those enemies say I visit the merchant? Trickster Trout does not say that. That guy doesn't say that. I don't think the Corrigan does either. I might have to pay to visit the merchant. Yeah, nothing allowed me to visit the merchant there, so I think I am going to pay 3 to go to the merchant. With my ability. Or with my item, I should say. Oh, before we do that, we should probably finish doing the reason we did this. So, after an engagement in which a hand modifier is resolved, +2 health and flip. And then Sean says, after flipping +2. So that's 4 health. So we go from 2 to 6. All right, now we can pay 3 gold to visit the merchant. All right, merchant. Give me something good. Oh, there's the item. Although, I don't know if I need it with this character. So the item is, each time you visit the merchant, +1 health. Super good. This one is all enemies have a lower bribe cost, which seems pretty good too. -2. Yeah. Negate the effects. Yeah. Decent card. I think we're gonna buy the. We can only hold 2 items. Yeah. Guess we're gonna buy the membership card. So that cost me 4. Puts me down to 8. Then with the rest of my money, I need to buy some dice back. It cost two gold to recover one die. So if we spend four, we can do that 4 times, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So I'm gonna buy 2 purples and 2 blues just because my dice pool is so incredibly low right now. So that just knocks me down to 0 gold. Okay, that was great. Don't have to flip the day-night card because I didn't go to the merchant via an enemy effect. All right, so now we refill the forest. We're ready for the next round. So yeah, you kind of want to, you can't really go into the end game until you've got enough cards on the castle stacks up top. So that's sort of how you measure whether you're ready or not. With the evil stepmother, you want to have an odd number of apples on her, if I'm reading that card correctly, because she forces the day-night to become nighttime, and if you fight her during the nighttime, she gets much worse. So, all right. You know what? Let's get another hand. We need to get to these apples. These apples we can start throwing up there. So let's go up. Fight the hand. The feeds. When activating modifiers, you must select the hand modifier if possible. I don't have any hand modifiers next to me or on the top of the deck, so that's fine. So let's see. Oh, ho ho. Okay, I see the move. I'm going to activate the poison apple modifier, which is going to turn on the wither's ability of only dice of a single color can be committed, but that's okay. So what the poison apple does is you swap the values of 2 stats that have different values and flip the day-night card. So my 6 here becomes a 3, but my recovery becomes a 6. What a deal. And now that I'm missing all this health, every time I visit the merchant, I can get my health back again. What a great deal. All right, so let's fight this wither. We've got enough dice. We're going to get extra dice back now, so now we're on the track to victory, I think. All right, okay, we recover 6. So let's just do 3. We don't need to do anything crazy here. All right, yep, that's that. That's 4 gold. Go from 0 to 4 with that. So this enemy is going to go on a castle stack. It's a hand, so I can put it on the mirror, I guess. Although, if I keep putting stuff on the mirror fight's just going to be a big cluster. I guess I'll be able to bribe people when I get there if I need to. Man. Yeah, I guess we'll do it. Seems a little scary, but... Alright, I gotta recover 6 dice, so I'll do 2 purples and a red. And I get 3 more. Do 2 blues and a green. Alright, that was 6 dice back. I could pay... Oh, no, actually, yeah, I could pay to visit the merchant. I don't think I need to visit the merchant right now. If I have more money, I'd feel better about it, but I don't. So let's refill the forest and go somewhere. I think we're going to go this way because this gives us more modifier options. If I go up here, I have a lot of hands next to me. I'm tired of resolving hands. All right, apple, silver tree, plus modifier, and he pulls in an extra enemy. Okay, so the adjacent modifier we'll resolve is the gust of wind, which knocks my red die out of my hands, apparently. And then I have to pull in an enemy from my strategy area or from the top of the hunt deck. Think about pulling in the ice giant. Oh, the silver tree gives us strategy. Ice giant's pretty healthy. The problem is the wren also pulls an extra enemy, so could also pull off the top of the deck. Just hope and pray that it doesn't do anything bad. Yeah, we don't have enough gold to bribe anything, so we're gonna have to fight whatever we face. Hmm. Hmm. let's pull back the ice giant, because if he lets us visit the merchant, which gives us health back. So, all right, let's see the other enemy I would have grabbed. Yeah, Toadstool Imp, not good. So one of the things you can do is spend money to get rid of these cards, which I might consider doing, I guess, depending on how this fight goes. All right, we've got 3 health. I need to move these dice farther over. Okay, sorry, funny. No editing setup here. All right, so we got a Silver Tree Ice Giant. We don't have enough money to bribe. So we definitely want to kill the Silver Tree. That's 6 damage. Let's do 4 purples there. Yeah, I think we're just not gonna hit the ice. Not gonna defeat the Ice Giant. So we're not even gonna try. So let's throw 4 purples and a blue. Hopefully we get a crit. If we don't, we can add more dice in. More die in or something. Come on, crits. We need you. Okay, I got a crit. I also got a purple miss, but oh wait, it misses twice in a row, right? That's not possible. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'll re-roll this purple. Okay, that's 6. So I immediately gain a strategy. So technically I could take another strategy here, but I'm not going to. I'm just gonna let the Ice Giant smack me. Okay. So yeah, I defeated that. This guy hits me for 2. Let's move this over out of the way. So that knocks me down to 1 health. We will add this poison apple to a stack. We're going to add it to the evil stepmother stack. So yeah, this guy hits me for 2, which I already did. Flip the day-night card, visit the merchant. Oh yeah, I need to recover 6 dice. So 4 purples, a red, and a blue. That is 6. Yeah, I don't have a lot of money. So hopefully I don't see the super item I've been looking for. Oh yeah, so I'm visiting the merchant, so I'll just take my health up now. Pot of gold. Ooh, that's a good item. Each non-in-game step, recover dice, you get +1 health. If you recover at least 1 yellow. The stick lets you gain health for moving down or left. So moving away from the evil stepmother. Almost said evil queen. And the magic wand. Remove after effects. If you flip it, it lowers its health and removes after effects. Yeah, none of those items are very good, which is totally fine because we don't have a lot of money. So I like to save up our money. There's one item in here that lets you increase your... Well, I guess we have full recovery. But yeah, it's one that lets you increase your recovery and the one that lets you increase your strategy. They both cost 10, which is a lot of money. All right, let's refill the forest and get to moving. So we need 2 more cards in the Ogre Chef stack to not lose stats. We don't have any in the Witch Queen stack. We need a lot more in the Stepmother because she has 8 health. Got some more cards to go. All right, where are we going? I could have spent 4 to flip one of my cards. That might have been smart. How much health does the membership card do? It goes to +2. If I flip the catalog, it makes it cost 1 gold to pay to visit the merchant instead of 3. Yeah, I guess I will pay those $4, I guess, to flip this card. Now that I think about it, puts me down to 0. Yeah, just thought of that. All right, now back to the future. Where are we going? What are we doing? You know what? We can do the exhausting. Let's see what we got. The Corrigan. All right, there's no core. Oh, that's what I was going to do. I was going to spend money to get rid of these crummy enemies over here. Okay, next time. Corrigan resolves an adjacent modifier. So I'm going to choose the poison apple next to me, which flips the day-night card to daytime, which is good. And then I have to switch some stats, so I'll go to 3 health, 2 strategy. All right. So just the Corrigan. Sweet. This is the worst setup ever. I don't know why I thought this was a good idea. Don't know what possessed me to do this. Alright, he has 3 health. We'll just do a red and 2 purples. No need to get crazy. His nighttime effect isn't on because he just flipped the day-night card, or with the modifier, so that's good. Alright, roll 3 dice. I miss on the purple and a crit on the red. Perfect. Alright, 4 gold. Thank you. And he's going to go to a castle stack, which is great. I think there's already a gust of wind on this guy. Yeah, let's do 1 on the Witch Queen, I guess. We need to start putting some stuff on here. Alright, so I got 6 recovery, so I'll pull back the dice I use, which is 3, and I get 3 more. Take 2 greens and a yellow. Alright, now we're starting to get our dice pull back in order. I could pay to visit the merchant, but I'm not going to. So now we decide which direction we want to go. I don't like going here. There's a lot of terrible icons. Man, there's a lot of masks out there. Guess we'll go this way. Let's see what it is. Arm and a leg. After this conflict, you may -1, -1, up to 3 different stats. Then visit the merchant and flip the day-night card. During this visit, all items cost -2 for each stat you reduced. I'm not going to reduce any stats. It says after this conflict. I don't know if this counts as a conflict. It's just this fable resolving, but oh well, whatever. It says then visit the merchant, flip the day-night card. So we'll flip the day-night card, visit the merchant. We get 2 health, puts us to 5. We got to see 3 items, and I have 4 gold, so hopefully. Oh, there it is. This card is so good. I'm so sad I don't have money for this card. Green crits do +1, and then all green hits do +1. It's my favorite item in basically any of the Tanglewoods decks. There's the increased recovery item, which we don't need, but it's nice to see it sometimes if you don't have this, a way to get your recovery up. You can get +2 to your recovery if you spend 14. Alright, goodbye, Emerald Dagger. You were a great item. It's alright, we're getting low on cards in the merchant, so we do for a shuffle. Do we want to get rid of one of these cards? How much does it cost to get rid of a card in our strategy area? Discard any card in the forest or strategy area and replace it with the top of the hunt deck for 3 gold. Oh, his nighttime effect says you get +3 gold. Interesting. Yeah. Oh, I had 3 strategy earlier, and I forgot to pull out an extra enemy. But now my strategy's back down to the 2, so whatever. Yeah, that's one thing you gotta remember is to keep up with your strategy area. Alright, yeah, let's get rid of the Toadstool Imp for 3. Go down to 1. Don't like that he pulls in more enemies. Not a fan. Speaking of which. Ooh. If all enemies are defeated, -1 recovery. That's kind of annoying. I like that art though. Look at that. It's the heartless boar and just this hole in his chest. Kingdom Hearts. What a great series. Anyway, alright. Done visiting the merchant. So we replace this card with the top of the deck. Now we can move somewhere. So another strategy thing I just thought of. So these castle modifiers, whenever you resolve it, you add the top card of the hunt deck to a castle stack. And if you're in the end game, you add it to your current current stack. I don't like putting these on the Evil Queen because if you pull like an apple, and it ends up flipping her back to night, it's just like super sad. Anyway, I'd like to resolve that one as a modifier if I could, but okay, we'll go bottom left. See what's over here. Ooh, Pernicious Pie Purveyor. Resolve a modifier and add an enemy. So we'll do the exhaust modifier. Let's get rid of the red die. And then we'll pull the top enemy of the deck since we've got the Heartless Boar. Oh, she increases your recovery as an instant reward. Not that I need that at all. I could, no, I can't, probably run out of money. So yeah, top card of the deck. Oh, that is terrible. If Cracked Mirror is not defeated, discard your hero and randomly select a new one. At the end of each strategy phase, if dice were applied to Cracked Mirror that phase, -2 gold. Holy moly. This is why you gotta pay money to discard these cards to add more enemies. Well, I have to add another enemy, so might as well keep pulling off the top. What in the heck is happening? Alright, it's over. It was a good run. Enjoyed it while it lasted. Man. I have to pull another enemy. I mean, I have to keep going off the top because the two enemies in my strategy area both also pull enemies. So eventually I'll find one that doesn't add more enemies. Holy moly, there we go. It's a Corrigan. There's no other Corrigans to pull. I do resolve his modifier. I can't resolve the Gust of Wind because I've already resolved it this round. So we'll do the Mask, I guess, which makes us pay gold, discard an item, or -1 health. I guess I have a lot of health, actually, now that I think about it. Oh, the Cracked Mirror also has a modifier, which I didn't resolve yet. Oh, and this guy does too. So here's the thing is, this is, you can only resolve each modifier once per round, is what it says. It uses the term round. But with all these guys having plus skulls, they keep drawing the top like cards, then you can select it again, I guess. See, I should have been resolving these modifiers as I was going along, so that's bad on me. So we pulled her in. We already resolved the Gust, Exhaust, and the plus skull, so that's done. Put that aside. We pulled the Cracked Mirror. We pulled the skull. We didn't resolve the adjacent modifier. Which I guess the top one would have been the apple. So I guess we'll resolve the apple as the one, because it would have been, this is the order of the cards, I think. So the modifier would be the apple. So we flip the day-night card. Switch our, oh, we have to switch our health and our, I guess we could knock our recovery down to 5 and go up to 6 health since we're about to take a bunch of damage. Let's do that, I guess. This goes to 6, recovery goes to 5. So now this card's resolved. I'm going to set that one aside, pull another one. So it's Comb Seller Carl. We have to resolve an adjacent modifier and add an enemy. I guess we'll resolve robbery. I don't want to summon more enemies, which makes us lose gold, an item, or health. We'll lose 1 health. And then we'll pull another enemy, so that guy is resolved. And it's the Corrigan. And that one, you also have to resolve a modifier. I don't want to summon more enemies, so I'll resolve the dang robbery. The new robbery has another -1 health. So now we're down to 4. We have, oh my goodness gracious, I almost just ended my recording session. All right, 4 health. 4 health, 8 billion enemies. Can we survive all the hits? We can't survive all the hits, but we do have a lot of dice, so I'm not super. So, okay. We have to defeat the Cracked Mirror, otherwise we lose our character, get a new one. Oh, well, if we get a new one, we don't adjust our stats or gold, so I actually don't hate that. Comb Seller Carl. What a guy. Whether or not we defeat him, he's going to knock our stats down. If she's not defeated, she becomes an item. Ugh. So I think we defeat the Pernicious Pie Purveyor, so we don't have her become an item. So let's see, that's 6 dice, or 6 damage, I guess. 4, 5, 6. Do 4 purples and a blue for that. Cracked Mirror will become a different hero. I'm not super upset about that, I guess. So I need to defeat 1 more enemy so I don't die. mind going down to 1. It's not the end of the world. None of these enemies have us go to the merchant after this, so... And do we just commit, like... No, we don't. That's a bad idea. Hi, hi. This is what happens to me in white when I play this game. I just get ganged up by a bunch of just enemies that summon more enemies. Trying to decide. So, we're defeating this one for sure. I'd like to defeat one of these guys to get that strategy, but they have so much health. I have no money to bribe things. I guess we'll defeat the core again and then end up taking 3 damage, which will knock us down to 1. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. We need some more dice in here. We'll throw in 2 more blues. So we got 4 purples, 4 blues. Let's see what happens. I'm going to turn this up right side up. It's bothering me. All right. We got no crits there. That is not great. Need 9 damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we need some crits. So I'm gonna re-roll. Maybe I'll keep the blue hits since they're a little more spooky. I guess I have to, yeah, I have to kill both those enemies up top because I'm gonna die otherwise. All right, so we'll put 3 on. We'll re-roll these dice. Hopefully we get a crit here. Or do we throw in 1 more green to be safe? Every time I do that, I roll like 8 million crits. Well, I don't want to die, so we'll throw in... Yeah, we can afford to throw in a green. Just 1 green. Oh! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't think that's enough damage to win. I rolled a purple miss again, which is not great. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, well, I just died. So, well, let's see. I defeated this enemy, so that gives me 4 gold, which is not useful. It's made a 5. So I take 1, 2, 3, 4 damage, and I have 4 health. So yeah, that was Tanglewoods White. I recorded this video early because I wanted to show off the end game. I didn't even make it there, so now I just feel like a fool. Well, for the certain person in the Discord, who I will call Donatello for reasons that hopefully he understands, I'll just show off how the end game would have worked if I hadn't gotten just beat up by a bunch of angry mirrors and comb sellers in the forest. Maybe I should have saved more money for bribing. I think in this specific deck, maybe, because like you can just keep pulling plus enemies. It might be smart to be a little more frugal. I think I spent too much and just didn't have any money for bribing, because sometimes you just get a lot of dudes and you gotta bribe at least one of them out of there. Anyway, so when you get to the end game, you get rid of the rest of your forest because you don't need it anymore. So then you choose which of the mini bosses you want to fight first. So you pick a mini boss, you resolve all the cards in their stack, top to bottom. So first you make sure you keep track of the number of cards that were on that boss. So this boss, for example, has 2 cards on him. So I remember the number 2. Okay. So then I would resolve this icon, which adds another card to the stack. And I would resolve this icon, and then I would resolve this icon. And he says, before resolving, if there's not enough cards there, you lose -2, so I would do that. So now, at this point, I'd be fighting him, and I can only roll 2 dice, because I only had 2 cards in the stack at the beginning. Because even though this this icon adds another card, you count the number of cards before you resolve any icons. So if I were in this situation, I'd be just rolling 2 dice. 2 dice, that's it. That'd be the max. I could put those on. And I think you can, I'm trying to remember now. Yeah, I'm trying to remember if after you apply dice, you can commit more. Yeah, max number of dice you can commit during each engagement. Yeah. So I guess you can like go through multiple, whatever. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. So, and then you would fight another one after you defeat that one. Same thing, resolve the cards. Resolve another one. And then finally, you would fight the stepmother last. And as I said before, with the stepmother, you place the day-night card on its nighttime side at the beginning of the fight. So this would be nighttime. And then when resolving one apple in the stack, you ignore the effect, -1 to any stat, and then flip the day-night card. So I would resolve one apple, it would just -1 to one of my stats, flip this card. And then the rest of the apples would behave like normal. So you want to have an odd number of apples on the evil stepmother before you fight her. Well, short video today, I guess. I say that because I lost. But yeah, that's how it works. You kind of want to get enough cards stacked up there, and then eventually you go to the top right and you take out the castle bosses. So hopefully you learned something from my mistakes. Thanks for watching. If you have noticed any other mistakes I made, or any strategy thoughts, or other characters, whatever, leave a comment. Let me know. I will be covering Tanglewoods Gold next, and hopefully I will win that game because I have yet to lose that game, but now I've jinxed myself. Anyway, if you made it this far, thanks for watching, and know that you are seen. All right, have a great day. Peace.